Alright, here's our second example. And again, I'm going to start out the same way. I've got to figure out my delta x. Oops, I need to get what I want here. Sorry, I have a tendency to forget that, as you probably know. Alright, my delta x is going to be b minus a over n, which is 1 over n. And my c sub I is going to be a, which is 1, plus delta x, which is 1 over n, times I. Alright, so I'm going to take the limit as n goes to infinity. Summation of I equals 1 to n of my function is, I'm going to plug in 1 plus I over n to the third power plus 1 times 1 over n. Right, I'm going to take the limit as n approaches infinity. The summation of I equals 1 to n. Okay, I'm going to use binomial expansion here. So I'm going to get 1 cubed plus 3 times 1 squared times I over n plus 3 times 1 times I over n squared plus I over n cubed plus 1 times 1 over n. Okay, and that 1 is this one right here. Is this? That's that 1. And wondering if you wondered where that came from. All right, so I'm going to simplify this. I equals 1 to n, and in my bracket I've got 1 here plus 3I over n plus 3I squared over n squared plus I cubed over n cubed plus 1 times 1 over n. So I'm going to take the limit as n goes infinity. Summation of I equals 1 to n. 1 plus 1 is 2 times 1 over n is 2 over n plus 3I over 1, which would be 3I over n squared, plus 3I squared over n squared times 1 over n is going to be 3I squared over n cubed, plus I cubed over n to the 4th. So that means I'm going to take this, and I think I'm going to bring it right here. Hopefully I have plenty of room, and we'll see here. And so I get the limit as n goes to infinity, and I'm going to break it up to 1, 2, 3, 4 summations. And the first one is going to be 1 over n times the summation of I equals 1 to n of 2 plus 3 over n squared times the summation of I equals 1 to n of I plus 3 over n cubed times the summation of I equals 1 to n over I squared plus 1 over n to the 4th times the summation of I equals 1 to n of I cubed. Alrighty. So let's get rid of the summations by substituting. So at the limit as n goes to infinity, this is going to be 2 times n, so I have 1 over n times 2 over n. I'll write it over 1 so we see that the simplification is easy. Plus 3 over n squared times n plus 1 over 2 plus 3 over n cubed times n plus 1 times 2n plus 1, all over 6 plus 1 over n to the 4th times n squared times n plus 1 squared over 4. Alrighty. So let me, hopefully this simplifies even more because I'm getting less and less room all the time. In fact, I think I might just skip and go down here. So I have the limit as n goes to infinity. This will be 2 plus, now what do I have simplifying here? I'll have 3 times n plus 1 over 2n plus, now I have some simplification here and here, so I'm going to have n plus 1 times 2n plus 1 all over 2n squared plus n plus 1, that quantity squared, over 4n squared. Alright, so this gives me a limit as n goes to infinity of 2 plus 3n plus 3 over 2n plus, this is 2n squared plus 3n plus 1 over 2n squared plus n squared plus 2n plus 1 over 4n squared. So if I take the limit of each of these, I'll get 2 here plus 3 halves plus 1 plus 1/4. Alright, if I add these together, that is 2. This is 1 and 1/2, so that gives me 3 and 1/2. 4 and 1/2 plus 1/4 is 4 and 3/4, or 4.75. Alright, that's our second problem.